And so it is not at all a cliche to ask, what is the advice you would give to younger people, admittedly not that much younger, who are deeply engaged in bringing about this kind of change? What do you need? What should they be doing more of? What are the things that maybe no one's doing because it's just not as much fun, but it's incredibly important? What are the things that never occurred to you needed to be done until you got to where you are now that you would like to assign to them all before you leave?
So I've reached this stage of my career, I guess, where I'm now the old guy.
You are the old guy.
To offer advice to all of you. Again, you started out by calling me an intellectual, and your final question is effectively, hey, old man, give advice to all of these young people here. But let me say a couple of things. So first of all, I think that you guys should go forth with a lot of confidence, because the conversations that are happening in this room and amongst all of you are far more interesting and far more influential in the policy conversation than almost anything else that's happening in Washington, D.C. There was a time in my life when I was incredibly, I didn't like to talk about trade policy because I didn't have a PhD in economics. Well, it turns out that a lot of the people who had PhDs in economics were flagrantly wrong, and they were given...
Would you like to be the chief economist at American Compass?
I already have a job, man.
We can do an honorary one. It turns out the title...
Ask Marco Rubio. He's got like 5 jobs. Maybe he'll take on a 6th. But I think that there is still, among especially well-educated D.C. conservative types, there is still this sort of apprehensiveness about, well, I don't have this credential, so should I not opine on this topic? And I think that in reality, you've got to realize that the people who grant these credentials have been gatekeepers, and their ideas and their entire work in Washington has served to make the people that they should be serving poorer and less happy, has reduced their life expectancy, and has made the national security of the country weaker. Ignore those people. They don't matter, and you have to beat them and not worry so much about what they think.